Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the panel discussion. We had some sessions yesterday. I hope they were useful as well as interesting. We'll start with today's. Just to give you the topics ideation, so we are covering current trends in ERP, current scenarios, how they are moving. The topic for this is India's ERP evolution, AI, cloud, and Industry 4 readiness. So we have already covered a lot of subject matters in different modules in ERP. Now we want to see how the transformation is happening and what is the readiness for us in the current scenarios. So let's start with one of the first questions that we have. I would like to know from Prasanna sir. So how's India's ERP transformation journey happening right now? So how has the ERP landscape in India evolved over last decade? And what factors are now accelerating digital transformation across industries?
Thank you so much, Pawan. I think this is a very relevant question. For me, I think if you ask me from an India perspective, this goes back, initially we started with basically digitization, which is, you have paper process and then that paper process is getting converted to digitization. So it merely taking from paper to electronic form. Then we have the next process, which is next level of maturity, which is digitalization, where then you have not only the digitization aspect, but you have the end workflows, like for example, processing of something, an event-driven workflow, and so on. So that is the next part. And there comes your ability to be innovative, be quicker, be better, target your efficiencies, whether it is performance or it is other business efficiencies. Now, I think we are going more towards what is called as the much more maturity, which is leading to digital transformation, where it is no longer only about either of these, digitization or digitalization, but it's in a connected way, in a deeply connected way, in an enriched way, where because of which you should be able to achieve clarity, you should be able to make faster decisions, and last but not the least, you're able to be quick to respond to change. So I think that is where we are in the journey today. We have moved from digitization to an inclusive digital transformation.
That's an interesting say. Kalpesh sir, this will be pointed to you. So AI-powered ERP adoption. So we had some interesting sessions happening yesterday, some stories. I'll just elaborate on that. AI is rapidly becoming part of modern ERP platforms. How are Indian businesses leveraging AI for automation, forecasting, analytics, and smarter decision making?
This is a very nice question. Yeah, I have been interacting with many business owners these days. Like I am looking after sales of the product, so I come across a lot of directors of the company. So yesterday, I'll give you a very small example. Yesterday, I went to meet a company owner in Chakan. So I was just explaining him about the product and what we offer. Like there is purchase module, there is stores module, there is MRP run and everything. So he was listening. He was very quiet. He was listening. He listened to me for 15-20 minutes, and he was just like, "इसमें मेरे लिए क्या है?" So the thing was, वो बोला everyone is giving this, like purchase सबके पास है, store सबके पास है, everyone is implementing those modules and all. He told me, I'll tell you my problem. So they are into basically hydraulic supply for and parking systems. So they give hydraulic bars for the vertical parking systems. So his point was very clear. I don't want ERP for these things. मेरा प्रॉब्लम है, मुझे फ़ोन आता है कस्टमर का, आई शुड बी एबल टू टेल मेरा डिलीवरी कब होगा. सो वॉट यू कैन गिव इन दिस. सो नाउ वॉट इज़ हैपनिंग लाइक विथ द नॉलेज विच द डायरेक्टर्स आर गेटिंग थ्रू वेरियस प्लेटफॉर्म, लाइक नाउ दे आर टीचिंग मी, यार ये तो इमरजेंट में हो जाता है, अरे ये तो हम ऑनलाइन कोडेक्स पे कर रहे हैं. सो देर इज़ अ लॉट ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन अवेलेबल इन द मार्केट नाउ, जो पहले डायरेक्टर्स तक थी नहीं. So now what is happening, the total trend is moving towards like AI adoption in the ERP. So उनका कहना था कि मुझे आप एक ऐसा टूल बना के दो, ये स्टॉक वगैरह तो मैं एक्सेल पे भी संभाल सकता हूँ. सो आई वॉन्ट अ टूल वेयर इन देयर शुड बी अ AI एजेंट सिटिंग. I will get an email with the customer order. The ERP should be capable enough, the AI agent should be capable enough to read the email, to translate it into a sales order in the ERP, and my ERP should shoot an email to the owner of the company, like the one who has given me the sales order, कि this is going to be the tentative delivery date, like maybe plus minus 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, whatever they keep. So now what is happening कि it is more about technology now. अभी primitive ERP में अभी कोई believe ही नहीं कर रहा है. So everyone wants it should be more integrated towards with the AI agents and all trending things which are going on in the market. So everyone wants it to be a part of their ERP system. So yeah, this complete trend is now changing towards AI and all, and there is a lot of things now coming in the future. Like मुझे एक customer ने बोला I got a demo of a ERP. वहाँ पे सिर्फ उन्होंने बोला था कि generate a invoice to X customer for A item and this much quantity, and the invoice got generated. So this is how the translation is happening now, and it is a very good time for us to change and adopt those technologies so that we'll be in the market for a longer period of time. Otherwise हमारे लिए भी this is a very big bell, like we should adopt to new technologies.
I would like to ask on the same lines that see traditional ERPs, there is a reason why they have been successful and they have survived for so many decades, I would say. Taking examples from SAP and other products, NetSuite and etc., everything has evolved around the same. See, what I feel these ERPs are not just fancy tools. They are very serious affair. They run big businesses. And there are standard processes they have been organized. That is tried and tested over the number of years. And with different complications, problem statements, issues that have been risen with companies. Now when I say, okay, I'll put something like an AI and it's a full automation. Imagine a 5,000 crore company running on some chat GPT AI and it goes into ghosting or, it hallucinates. Then what? Because the decision might change very significantly. Any such situations where you have to explain to the owners, sir, you have to go for a serious ERP and maybe use something on top of the line for, some small automation tasks or something. ऐसा कुछ situations कभी हुआ है आप दोनों के लिए है ये?
Yesterday only there was a guy who visited my stall, and he was from Jalgaon, a very small city, in terms of technology. तो वो मेरे स्टॉल पे आए तो ही सेड कि यार आपका इतना बड़ा कंपनी है तो आपका स्टॉल इतना छोटा क्यों है. तो मैं आई एक्सप्लेन्ड हिम कि it's not about the stall space or something, it is more about what we are offering. And then he told me कि I met a guy exactly opposite side of the exhibition and he told me कि ये पूरा system हमने 2 महीने में बनाया है. Like whole ERP is developed in 2 months. So मैंने उनको वही explain किया, see it is not building the system. ERP is a system, it's an ecosystem for the organization. It's not about only the product. इसमें product का contribution is very less, and what maturity is required in terms of the implementation of the product is आपको you should understand the business processes very well. It's not about the product. Like, and means what my thought process is, you cannot have a single ERP running in different business verticals. So ये लोग आ रहे हैं market में. There have been people who are coming in the market, developing the systems through AI, and as you rightly said, अगर वो agent hallucinate हो जाता है and if he gives false messages to the customers जिन्होंने order expect किया कि कल आ जाएगी, परसों आ जाएगी, so it can be a very big issue. So
ground reality we know कि supply chain models में हमने देखा है,
4M
supply chain.
change.
How do you know? How does the AI know कि truck दिल्ली से निकल के चंडीगढ़ पहुंचा है या नहीं पहुंचा है? There has to be track and trace. And you're saying ठीक है, driver का मन आ गया, नींद आ गई, सो गया. Now AI has committed it will reach tomorrow, and then our client is, if it's a manufacturing, so client has decided complete production planning for tomorrow. Right? Such kind of situations are going to happen.
Right,
So,
right.
And
So 100% AI adoption is not at all possible. Like you cannot be completely dependent on any AI to run your business. So yeah.
Prasanna sir, you would like to add?
Thank you, Kalpesh sir. I think he rightly pointed out, it's not, we shouldn't try to expect 100% from AI or ML for that matter. We ourselves, I can give an example, very similar problem. They are a large manufacturing business, not based out of India, and they wanted abilities to basically, incoming email, they want to understand, and then they want to contextually respond. Yeah, this is their problem statement, and the challenge is they have around maybe 70 varieties of you can say products which are built by them. So therefore, the challenge is ultimately what I'm saying is we were able to give them what they'd seek, but definitely it was not 100%. It will have to be, get somewhere at 94, then 96, then 98. Today it's around there. But that also doesn't mean it's still up to the mark there, because it's a lot dependent on the actual data that they are having. It's a lot dependent on scenarios which we probably cannot anticipate, and that level of maturity in terms of agentic, in terms of LLM and ML, is still an ongoing thing. Right? Within today, if I ask our developers, which tool would you want to use, cloud or you want to use other providers, they themselves cannot make a concrete decision.
Yeah, there is a
because
new
it's
version
going
every
to,
day.
exactly, it's evolving very rapidly. So the rate of change is really, really fast, is really very high, which means that the only way we can navigate that is through making basically very much hedged decisions or calculated risks that we have to take. So therefore, deploying a solution which will automatically answer, yes, possible, but it comes with certain challenges.
Decision making, I think, will
yes,
not
which
yet
we
rely
have to
on that.
navigate, and there I think we will need to play better.
Interesting. Acha, too much of an AI we are talking, I know it's a trending one, but I would like to pivot the whole discussion to a different edge of it. This is for Industry 4.0 readiness. Okay, we have been talking about it, hearing about it for past few years. Some of them have implemented, and majorly for manufacturing. So, Industry 4.0 readiness, I would like to point to you, Prasanna, first. So, how prepared are Indian manufacturing and service industries for Industry 4.0? And what role does ERP play in enabling smart operations and connected ecosystems? Too much of AI, no AI now.
Yes.
Bore ho gaya.
Nice. No, I think from an India perspective, already we see that prior to this, a lot of data entry happened using, people would input data. On the shop floors, they would input data. And then they eventually upgraded to barcodes and so on. What is changing now, and which is good, is there is a lot of machine data that is coming in. So previously, these were not necessarily sitting in ERP. Perhaps they didn't exist as well. But now that machine data, we are able to bring it into ERP, using which now you can do subsequent processes. So that becomes important. For example, a business having inventory, which is literally coming from your, well, the trucks are bringing your raw materials, and at the end of the day, they leave with the finished goods. In between, there is whole thing about your production, then your packaging, then your labeling, and then shifting them to the trucks appropriately. So all that happens, including quality and other aspects. Now, for all of these, previously we did not have machine data. Now today it becomes available, and because of that, you can now do a lot more. And I think that is where we are also slowly moving. Of course, this was much ahead. We have been behind, but it's already happening in other parts of the world. But certainly for us, this is a new transition. And this is now further enabling our story with regard to how you can use all this data from an AI point of view or any downstream business processing.
Kalpesh, you would like to add for IoT 4.0, industrial?
Yeah. So regarding IoT, so basically in India, Industry 4.0 is limited to IoT. This is what I think. And the biggest problem for any manufacturing industry today is the data entry in the ERP. So I have seen a very good adoption of IoT devices on any kind of machine. Maybe it's a CNC machine or any proxy based kind of machines. So like organizations are adopting a lot of IoT. But another thing what I have seen is the pricing of these kinds of devices. So when I approach any machine shop with around 20 machines, so usual charges for IoT is 50,000, 60,000 per machine now. So the thought process here is, यार मैं 12,000 का आदमी बिठा देता हूँ डेटा एंट्री के लिए. This is what the general trend is. So the adoption is not that aggressive when it comes to MSME. But big players who can invest a lot in IoT and then different kinds of data interfacing with the machines, so they are definitely adopting this technology a lot. And industry 4.0 is going to take a lot of time. Means unless the basics are done, you cannot expect a machine shop to run completely automatic, like with quality and all.
That is happening actually. We saw some examples like operational efficiencies happening, where the machine, because manufacturers का बोलना ये होता है, my machine, जितना मेरा machine run होगा उतना मेरा business है, depending on the manufacturers. So they wanted to know what is my downtime, how many cycles they have run, how many production count, those kind of elements. When we face some situations like that, we talked about that, ki sir, whatever will be the cost of it, we'll divide it by per product and let's see what is your efficiency on that way. So this we tried, but like you rightly said, the product costing is coming 50, and yes, I got an answer कि मेरा बंदा अब 12 बोल रहे हो सर, मैं 8-10 की भी बात करता हूँ. So there are people who are like कि मेरा machine handler या operator जो रहेगा उसका salary is like anything. So जितना आप मेरे को figure price बता रहे हो उतने में मेरे 2 बंदे 2 shift में काम कर लेंगे, plus थोड़ा और 500 रुपये दे दिया तो वो overtime भी कर लेगा. Right? This kind of an generic statements comes from SMEs. Yeah, you have something.
I just want to add, it is very true. I think I have also heard similar things, and it's a little unfortunate, but I think I want to highlight, and there is both. Sometimes they are right because as business owners, they know what is most important for them in a short-term perspective. But then we are coming from experience, having implemented in multiple places, working with multiple businesses. So then I think what we can tell is in terms of long-term, there is a different perspective to it. And so invariably, this attitude also is something that owners needs to change, because whether they like it or not, somewhere it pulls them back. And that's the truth. It may not be visibly seen instantly, because in the short term, it's definitely maybe, as you said, he may have a cheaper resource that can substitute it. But I think in terms of evolving, in terms of maturity, in terms of operational efficiency, which I think if you see a lot of, I can give an example. There's a word called Mittelstand in this Europe region. They're very, very small businesses, but extremely efficient. And that I think is missing for us in our MSME world. I imagine if we can go to that extent, then I think we can manufacture for the world. No? So I think that's the thinking problem that we will have to address.
I would like to connect to the audience as well here. Any ERP guys who have actually created some modules around IoTs or Industrial 4.0? Yes, please. I would request whoever asks the question, please do mention your name and company name so that you get a nice visibility around it.
Thank you so much. My name is Mudassir Sheikh, and I'm the founder of One Control Private Limited. So we are into retrofitting of IoT devices to MSMEs, and the major problem we face is the similar problem. I'll let my resource work for 8,000 and put the data entry. But what we fail to explain to them is the run in the longer chain, right? And we fail to explain them the value of this implementation of ERP. So, I had one question regarding, we are not able to explain them the value of AI, what value it brings to their value chain, and how does it directly affect their revenue. Okay, that is one question. And the second is, IoT devices rightly mentioned, per machines we are charging around, 50, 60 you mentioned very low. I have seen people charging around 1 lakh and upwards.
So I'll give you a nicer, because yes, this is gonna go live and stream and people might be hearing around it. What would you charge for a device in generic for your price point?
Let's say if it's a basic CNC device, it would go upwards of 1 lakh, and depending on their functionalities and the data acquisition that they want from the system, the modules can increase more than that.
Yes, your good name is Mudassir.
Mudassir, yeah.
Mudassir. So Mudassir from?
One Control.
One Control. So Mudassir from One Control has a device for IoT. Somebody who's listening towards this, for sure, please do connect with them. Yeah. Okay, I would request you to answer for this.
So I'll give you an example. Like last year, one of my customer, he went to some IMTechs in Bangalore, and he came across a IoT company, and they decided, chalo IoT karte. And in first phase, they have around 150 CNC machines. So in first phase, they implemented it across 30 machines to get the data and all everything. So one fine day I went to him after 6-7 months of implementation. तो मैंने उनको पूछा कि यार सर कैसा चल रहा है IoT आपका. So he said कि डेटा तो आ रहा है यार बट देखेगा कौन. So that is also one problem कि a lot of data is also of no use. Like so basically when it comes to AI and IoT integration, see now companies are facing a lot of issues. They don't want to just keep on monitoring the data. They want to monitor only the data which they should monitor. मुझे मशीन यूटिलाइजेशन मेरा 80% है, 20% डाउन टाइम है, डजेंट मैटर. वो उनको पता है उनका एफिशिएंसी 60% है. वॉट मोर कंसर्निंग फॉर देम इज कि वॉट डेटा आई शुड सी एंड वॉट आई शुड ओवरलुक या फिर छोड़ दो. सो वॉट आई थिंक विथ यूज ऑफ AI एजेंट्स you can gather the data through IoT machines and you can develop such kind of dashboard. Now see, it's a real time problem कि डेटा तो आ रहा है बट देखने को किसको टाइम है. वी ऑल्सो रन बिजनेसेस, हम भी बिजी रहते हैं या फिर कोई देखेगा नहीं उसको. सो विथ AI you can have an agent which can give only the relevant data where really the efficiency is affecting. Means you can set up some data points like it should escalate to the director of the company only if the parameter moves out of this much efficiency and all. So डेटा देखने के लिए आज किसी के पास भी टाइम नहीं है. एंड दिस इज़ द रियलिटी ऑफ जिसके पास 150 CNC और 5 प्लांट है वो कभी नहीं देखेगा. एंड इफ ही इज़ नॉट इन्वॉल्व डेफिनेटली उसके मैनेजर को भी इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. उनको एक ही पता है कि मेरा टर्नओवर कितना बढ़ रहा है. सो दिस इज़ द रियलिटी. सो with help of AI agents and AI thing, you can build something which is not common in the market and ensure them कि you will not end up or you will not waste your time just by looking the data, and we will give you only the insights where you should actually look. So this is what my giveaway is on this.
I would like to add up towards that. So you might actually give them preventive maintenance kind of schedules. Sometimes breakdown can happen around the machines. So 150 CNCs when we are saying, say maybe 2 or 3 machines are not working. So you can have your efficiency matrices done like for the complete run operations. And when this trigger and alarm happens to the owner, I think that is one of the best ideations that he wants to know, right? That is one of the things could be done.
That is one of the main, KPIs that they look at, breakdown of the machines, and then where my operation is failing or where my efficiency is getting reduced. But the end product that they're looking at is the how much increase is there in the revenue. It is a simple metric for them. It is nothing else.
Yeah. It's difficult, very difficult. But look, if you look at it from a risk point of view, now then there's a, you can always add a monetary side to it, but you can also say, hey, this is about now your reputational risk, your business risk. Now that's a very important perspective because as sir was saying, if these things are in behind the scenes and they are continuously getting monitored, and only when there is a need, only when there is a criticality that we need to trigger that event, then that makes sense. And that can be addressed from a risk point of view. If you don't have it, you do not have it. But if you have it, while it's sitting there with you, you made that investment, it will hit when it's needed most. So I think that is a way to go about, and I would recommend that for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'd like few more questions from the audience. We are really giving you the visibility of it. You make best of this opportunity right now.
Yeah, so in space of the IoT, I'm Mani from Tech Options course then, we are ERP implementers. So just question 2 on the IoT spaces. So I just wanted to know practically in Indian space, which is an area really this IoT is getting tractions, picking up. Is it true or, last few years we are listening this lot, but where is the real happening is there? The struggle is with ERP, AI, or some other core issues?
From my understanding, from an Indian point of view, I believe in retail side, it is happening in multiple contexts. Because this, I think, especially for large retailers, and then also especially ones who have multiple stores, multiple retail outlets in the same cities. So for them, to use this, the data coming from this is used for other purposes, like for example, predicting footfall, and they combine it with other data to be more accurate in terms of saying, I can expect this kind of demand, in terms of retail. So that I believe I can give an example from my understanding and my experience, but over to.
So I am giving services to manufacturing. So I do understand there is a very huge adoption of IoT mainly wherever the mass manufacturing is happening, and very less
What is
setup
the-
chains are there.
What is the definition
So
of
mass manufacturing is like if you consider any automotive part manufacturing company. So there is a schedule monthly, like you want to supply this part 2 lakh quantity. So for them, the efficiency really matters because the machines are getting booked for 15 days, 20 days completely. There is no setup change and all. And a little improvement in the efficiency can give them a lot of schedule compliance in terms of the delivery, on-time deliveries and everything. So wherever there is mass manufacturing, like maybe machine shop, plastic molding shops, rubber molding shops, wherever the components are getting produced in lakhs. So they are really interested in implementing IoT on their machines. Yeah.
I forgot to mention also warehouses, inventory and warehouses. That's another place where it is getting adopted.
I'd like to give you some examples around it. We see supply chain tracking we have seen. So not to specify any specific names, but you have fleet already being monitored on IoT 4.0, where say production is happening. So assembly, productions, everything comes hand in hand, right? So maybe raw material is produced in say Sambhajinagar, and then coming from there to Pune for assemblies. Now the timeline is also very important for those. So that is one. We have seen some examples to the level of lathe machines, which is a purely manual driven process. There have been some devices who actually give you counters for that. So at least a human error can be identified. Temperature control, so there are furnace industries that we have seen, so temperature control, incident happening that we have seen. So it is happening in phases, for sure. There was a lot of traction by government saying, ki, please adopt to the industry 4.0. I actually have a fun incident to share was, I saw a manufacturer procure one-arm robot, for pick and paste kind of an operations, and it was nicely displayed at the gate of the workshop. It was displayed at the gate of the workshop. It should have been operational. And it was said, ki, nahi, we got some benefits, we got some government schemes running, we won the vendorship agreement, therefore it was, so such kind of situations are happening. When I went and I said, ki, sir, why don't you get it operated? He says like, abhi tak vendor ne na iska handover nahi kiya hai, so we are waiting for that. So some things at our end also, we have to be fast enough for them to make it operational. So dono sides ka hai. We are seeing a very good traction in those. Yes? Yeah. Any more? I would like one more question somewhere. Feel motivated, sir. Mani sir has been a very good audience since yesterday. I have noticed him multiple times. Huh? Okay.
that Japan, some city you were mentioning quickly, very small place.
No, it was a name. It's a name called. It's used to identify businesses, who are small but they're very efficient and they have certain values how they operate. So that is called Mittelstand. Mittelstand.
Okay. A lot of questions have been going. I would like to say a small rapid fire, one word answers only. Okay. Can I have those items? Okay, sir, to you. So I really would want a single word or a single liner answers to it. And it has to move fast. We want to move so that we go for a good closure. So rapid fire closing questions is, one technology Indian businesses should prioritize first.
AI.
AI, okay. To you, Prasanna. Data, okay. Biggest ERP adoption challenge in India?
Budget.
Price.
So both of them I agree. Cloud ERP or on-prem? Where is the market heading?
Cloud.
Both agree to for cloud. One industry 4.0 trend business, which businesses cannot ignore.
Can you please pardon?
One industry 4.0 trend, which businesses cannot ignore.
Productivity.
Efficiency.
Hey, this is like a setting, huh? Once is.
No, it is true.
We have same thought process.
Okay, interesting. So industry things alike, huh? AI in ERP, is it a hype or a real business value?
Hype.
Yet to be real business value.
Acha, yet to be. This was a very diplomatic answer. I try to bring something because we have an elaborate questions going around, but just for the fun of it. So this is where we sum up our today's session for this panel. Thank you for being a good panelist here. I think audience also was very Mudassir, thank you again. So because you asked the question, I'll give you that highlight. Please do connect with him. Manish sir, thank you for being a good audience. I would like to see you for further sessions also. You have good questions always going around. I'm intentionally asking you guys to participate because we will have a good interactive sessions going around. So signing off for now, Pawan More for panelists here. Thank you, sir.